strikes. Sometimes the enemy's defenses are so strong that just accurate shooting is no longer enough. But even for such a situation, there is a solution, and it's waiting for your command far in the rear. Let's talk about artillery strikes and air raids. Calling a fearsome force from the rear is a unique ability of the radio operator class. It doesn't matter if the radio operator is in his specialized squad or if you added him to a squad of another class. The bonus of the radio operator squad is a much shorter pause between the radio calls, as well as the ability to call airstrikes. Artillery. The artillery strike skill is available to any radio operator by default and is applied in 2 clicks. The assigned button brings up the battle map, on which all that remains is to select the strike coordinates. The red circle marks the hit area, about 24 meters of total annihilation of infantry and, if you are lucky, of armored vehicles. Confirm the target and wait. The process takes time. The gunners need to aim and shoot. In a few seconds, 3 ranging shots will hit the target area, and in another moment, the artillery will drop its full force on the doomed piece of land with 16 high-explosive shells. It will blast the infantry to pieces. Tanks will blow up on a direct hit, not to mention rally points, machine gun nests, and other destructible objects, all in the dust. However, it's important to note that both allies and enemies will see the affected area on the minimap, so the enemy will have 10 seconds to escape. Although the artillery does not cause damage to allies, you can't distinguish the target zone from the enemies, and the severe concussion affects everyone. Before calling the next strike, a certain amount of time must pass, which is displayed to the exact second in your combat interface. Do not forget to keep an eye on it. Another important rule is that only 1 artillery strike per team can be active, and there are many who want to use them. If an ally was faster, you will have to wait for your turn. Smoke shells. The radio operator in the specialized squad, in addition to the destructive high-explosive barrage, can also call in smoke. Right in the artillery call window, press the Change Shell Type button. Draw a line by moving the cursor after pressing the Call the Strike button, and then confirm it by pressing the button again. In a few seconds, a huge chunk of the battlefield will be enveloped in impenetrable smoke, under the cover of which, for example, you can relatively safely get to a favorable position. There are many possible uses. Say hello to that tank on the hill. Bombers. If artillery is too precise, a formation of 5 bombers can cover a good chunk of the battlefield. And their bombs carry noticeably more explosives than artillery shells, but you have to learn how to use them effectively. Airstrikes are only available to radio operators in the specialized squads and after the appropriate upgrade. Already met the conditions? Change the artillery strikes type in the same artillery call window and be quite impressed with the coverage area. You can't rotate it though. But that's not a problem you need to worry about. The bombers are quite slow. From the moment you call the airstrike until they arrive, a minute and a half will pass. Your opponents will be notified about the coming hell on Earth. Besides, the planes themselves are quite vulnerable. You can chase them with a fighter or shoot them down with anti-aircraft guns. Each destroyed bomber removes its assigned target zone, thereby weakening the effectiveness of the airstrike. But if at least a few from the formation get to their target, Just briefly about explosives. Everything that explodes in Enlisted is implemented in great detail. The explosion has a shockwave and shrapnel, and while everything is basically straightforward with the former, a sphere of destruction is built around the point of the explosion, weakening towards its edges. With the shrapnel, it's much more interesting. You can hide from them. Get it? No time to escape? The crater from the last explosion, the solid walls, the trenches? Even if you lie down, you can significantly reduce the chance of catching a huge piece of iron. Your squad members, by the way, will repeat after you. Calling artillery on enemies or trying to hide from it. Either way, good luck.